No, we're gonna leave this part in. Welcome to the C4 podcast. This is Christians interviewing Christians at a Christian camp. I'm Brandon,
And I'm Caleb.
and welcome. Thank you for joining with us. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. Thank you.
Hello, thank you.
Absolutely. Who are you, Kelly?
I am Kelly Hullah, and I work here at Michiana Christian Camp.
Yeah.
I'm Business Services Supervisor, so I kind of basically run the office, do all of the office stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How long have you been doing that? Or if you'd rather not say, you don't have to.
No, that's okay. I have worked here now 22 years full time and 27 summers total. I did a lot. So I came here as a camper, started in fifth grade. I haven't missed a summer since. Well, technically there was one summer I did my internship, but I was still back here for a couple weeks. But I started working here when I was 16, 17. I was a junior in high school and was summer staff. I worked in the kitchen. I worked as lifeguard, did canteen and all that fun stuff. And then went to college, did that all in between high school and college, and then came back after college and they hired me full time. So I've been here ever since. So 27 consecutive years and summers and 22 full.
What does your Christian journey kind of look like for you?
I grew up in the church. I'm one of those church kids that we were there every Sunday morning. My dad would always be like, "We're going to church. Oh, I don't feel good." You'd have to actually physically get sick in front of me in order to know that you are not going to church. And we're like, okay, wasn't allowed to wear jeans to church or anything like that. So still to this day, feels a little weird when I wear jeans to church. But we were there all the time. Came to camp here, like I said, starting in fifth grade. And then really it was after Tim Stewart's was our D, junior high too. On my way home from camp, my friend, as soon as we got in the car, we all rode together from our home church, and her parents and my parents were in the car, the two of us, and she said, "Kelly was baptized." So we went straight to my preacher's house. Didn't even go home. Said, "Kelly wants to get baptized." We went straight to the church. I dug my swimsuit out of the suitcase and went and got baptized at the church, and then we went to McDonald's to celebrate. That's what you do. Either McDonald's or Dairy Queen.
McDonald's. That's funny.
And then that was that. So that was after my eighth grade year, I believe. And then just have really been poured into by the people here at the camp, by my youth ministers at home, by just different adults in our lives that have really poured into me. In high school, I was here at a campfire and gave my life to dedicated to full-time Christian service. Also here at the camp, and have been able to be back here serving, which has been a very cool thing, to be able to have given my life to Christ here and to dedicate my life to his service here and then to come back and serve, and especially to be able to serve with my family. My husband also works here. We are raising our 5-year-old here, and so that's been really cool to see my deans that poured into me are now pouring into him as a 5-year-old, and he and Jeff Oliver like to sit in rocking chairs on the porch and sing songs and just sit there and rock on the porch and sing. And it's one of my favorite things. But that's all happened here at camp. My husband proposed to me here after Friday cleanup. He had the ring in his pocket the whole time, so he kept walking on the other side of me, every time I walked on that side, just in case I would hit it accidentally and be like, "What?" And so it was 11 o'clock at night, and he had flowers and asked for me to marry him, and then I was like, everybody's asleep. We tried to call my family, they were all asleep. His family was all asleep. We came over here to the girls' staff lodge because it was when I was living in the Blue House, and I was like, so then we went to the Shell station, and I think he was actually the first person that found out that we were engaged, and he didn't really care. The Shell station guy. That was when Friday cleanup lasted until 11:30. Because
I could never imagine.
Yeah.
Could not imagine.
Yeah, camp ended at 7, and so then he couldn't get started till then, and we were here for a long time.
I feel like that's the most Andrew Hullah thing After Friday cleanup, he's like, all right, so we got Friday cleanup done, and that's all settled, and it got done. It needed to be done. And now that it is, it's like two things that he likes to do all the time. Maybe not like thoroughly enjoys Friday cleanup, but
Right.
we have to admit there's got to be some enjoyment
Yeah.
on Friday
I
cleanup.
always had a blast. Like as summer staff, like those are some of my favorite memories. Like they're also like the hardest times that like when you're thinking about coming back the next summer, you're like, oh, Friday cleanup. But then you're like, oh, Friday cleanup! Like you can make it fun. And I still have a picture of one of my best friends. We were doing Friday cleanup, and it was a torrential downpour, and there's like water flooding everywhere, and our pant legs are soaked, and we're like soaked, and it's a great picture. That makes me laugh every time. And I'm like, oh, that was a Friday cleanup. Look at the cleaning basket in my hands. Yeah, like it's a lot of work, but you can make a lot of fun.
I was gonna say Friday cleanups are definitely what you make them.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody. Let's be honest. Nobody wants
Yeah.
to clean the cabins, but they have to be cleaned, and
yeah. It's
it's
a lot
just
of toilets. And it's a lot of showers, and I hate showers.
oh, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody likes it, but you make it.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's because everybody likes the beginning.
Right.
Everyone loves being clean.
Yeah.
Getting it to that point.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. And I've always said like I want to make a crayon box or something, and one of the colors would be toilet bowl blue. Like that is like one of my favorite colors is the toilet bowl blue. And yeah, they can have a little crayon box, and I don't know what all the other colors would be, but
That just gave me ideas.
see ya? Yeah, there you go.
We
Run with it.
we need Friday cleanup merch.
We should do that.
We need Friday cleanup merch. Gosh,
Yes.
the ideas are endless.
Mhm.
The possibilities.
So when I was summer staff, one year DJ Olson was the director. He hates squirrels. Hates squirrels. Because they ruin a lot of things here. And so we all made our summer staff made shirts that said "Save the Squirrels," and that was our Friday cleanup shirts.
Oh man.
Like I think I still have it like in a cedar chest somewhere. That like now the letters are almost all coming off. But so see, you can make Friday cleanup shirts, and
I'm bringing this up to Andrew.
they have to be toilet bowl blue though. Like
No, that's so funny.
Check Cam store for further updates. We talked a lot about kind of Friday cleanups and some of the stuff that kind of some of the things that you've been able to do in your time here. What is your average day, quote unquote,
oh dear.
look like? And I recognize, like, especially off season and in
Yeah.
season can be
There's
very
definitely
different.
2 seasons at camp.
Yeah.
So we'll start with summer season. My day you never know what it's gonna be.
I was gonna ask, is there an average?
Yeah,
day?
there is not an average day. Most of the time, like, we start over at breakfast, and then invariably, like, as I'm walking in, like, a dean or a faculty member stops me, like, oh, I need a Bible. Okay, let's go get a Bible, or whatever. And so the kitchen sometimes gets frustrated because I tend to be the very last person over there, either that or sometimes maintenance. And it's because every time I walk out, like, somebody stops me. And so I try to do that. Start with breakfast, devotions, all of that. And then you just never know. A lot of phone calls, a lot of emails. I get a lot of parents that call, trying to check in on their kiddos. So then you have to go find them and just make sure that like everything's okay. It's like I haven't heard anything, so it should be good. All that kind of stuff. I do a lot of background checks. That's like an all summer process. And just prep for that. And then I still do in the off season, we rent out our facilities. And so I'm still fielding phone calls for all of the rentals and things like that. As well. So a lot of my day is on the phone, or and people walk into the office all the time needing various things, duct tape, pens, Bibles, anything.
Yeah.
Weird like that. Those are not weird things. I was trying to think of like the weirdest thing that I've ever had anybody ask me, but I can't think of anything right now. So yeah, so that's just kind of that. Canteen is always there in the middle of the day, which still to this day at 2 o'clock I want like a candy bar or something. So after 22 years of canteen, like it starts getting in your mind, and then it's not
It's
healthy.
just a habit at
Yeah,
the end
it
of the
is.
day. You're not even thinking about it. You're just like,
Yeah.
it's 2 o'clock.
I need canteen. Like, what is it? So there might always be snacks in the office, but yeah. So then do canteen and all that, and that's probably one of my favorite jobs in the summer because that's the time that I actually get to see the kids and like talk to them and quiz myself on their names or whatever. Since we're the ones in the office that put them in the computer a lot of times, uh, I won't necessarily see their face, but I'll be able to put their first and last names together. And so sometimes it surprises the kids and they're like, how did you know my name? And I'm like, because I type it in all the time and you've been here for years. Um, but I might need them to like say the first name first and then, or whatever. But, um, and that's just a cool time to be able to get to chat with them and see how their day's doing. And I mean, you only get them for a little bit of time here. Um, but yeah. And then in the off season, I do a lot of accounting. I do all of the accounting, all of the bill paying, all of my fun jobs. And again, talk on the phone a lot. Give a lot of tours for those rental groups and things like that. And then we will alternate who gets to work weekend. Um, and that's also one of my other favorite parts of the off season is being able to create those relationships with our guest groups. We have a lot of groups that have been here for year after year after year. Stevensville Seventh Day Adventist Church, they've been coming longer than I've been employed here. Probably about 30 years. Every September. And so that's been cool to be able to create relationships with those people and be able to see them year after year. We could catch up and things like that. And so, yeah. So that's most of my day is talking to people and helping people get whatever they need, directing them in a way. I'm also doing the website and those kind of things, so I get to do the creative side of things sometimes. Yeah. You never know. You never know what it's going to be because every phone call is different, and every email that you get is different, and every request you get is different. And sometimes you get things done, sometimes you don't.
Well, absolutely. Those are definitely um, very two different aspects of camp, but all at the same time, it's really highlighting people's relationships. That in many ways, like in many ways, being the point of contact for a lot of people to be able to kind of like be connected and have those kind of really keep those relationships going.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
really huge.
It's been really fun to see, like, I've been here long enough now that, like, I've seen generations of people come through. Like, these kids used to be campers, and now they're bringing their kids to camp, which is weird. It makes me feel so old. And then it's like when they start serving on camp staff with you, that it's like, oh, I'm really old. Like, how are you possibly like doing this? Like Caleb is one of them. I remember Caleb being born, which is just weird to me. But yeah, and now we're working together, and different things like that. It's just been really, really cool to be able to see um, the generations and the siblings and all of that, and then going out in public and seeing somebody that was a camper 15 years ago or whatever, and be like, hey, you camp, right? Like, yeah, I did. I remember you. Like what? And so, yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah, and I think it's those kinds of connections and those relationships too that make the big difference.
It does, yeah. Yeah, that's what people always ask, like, what's different about Michiana? And I think it really comes down to those relationships. Like, I think that's something that we've done well over the years is just be able to keep those connections and things like that.
It's our motto.
It is. Yes. Yes, very much so. And I think they've changed the wording a little bit, but it was like real relationships, lasting impact, making Christ known through memorable experiences. Those relationships, not only your relationship with one another, but that relationship with you and Jesus. Like that's the ultimate relationship with the lasting impact that we want to have here. But then that flows into the faculty relationships, the parents that come on here, like to have that relationship with those parents. Because now that I'm a mom, like it's scary dropping off your kid at a camp that you don't know any of these people. Like I don't know how they do it. So I mean, I was always on the phone, be like, "Yes, it's fine. Your kid will be fine." But now I'm like, "No, don't worry, your kid will be fine. Like they'll be great. I've known these people for years. Like they're all great people." But it is really terrifying to like let them go off for a whole week and be like, "Nope, you can't call them." Like not because we don't want you to call them or because of anything like crazy, but it just breaks it up and they start missing home then and all of that. And so it's just easier on them to be more fully engaged when you don't have that constant contact with mom and dad at home or things at home. But yeah, it's it's been cool to be able to be a part of that for so many years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's something that you do to help prepare yourself for that kind of role? Knowing that things can be different every single day, and
Yeah. I think like I try to make a plan, but I also just try to be flexible with that. It's probably not a role for everybody. I don't know. Like it might just be a personality thing too, but I think just keeping the priorities in straight, like what needs to get done, and then also trying to find that balance between um, focusing on the relationship as well. Because there are sometimes, that like conversations start happening that come at the most inopportune times. Like, no, I really need to get this done. Like, I have a deadline or whatever. And so sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Um, but it's just to try to check yourself mentally as to where things are going, what you need to get done, and all of that. But being flexible as well. And just be like, okay, well, didn't go well like I planned, but okay. It's still what it is. And yeah.
So, to you said something about you can't really prepare for the role necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
but you kind of get the gist of how things flow. What are some things that you do outside of your job? Like, are you able to relax? Like, what are your hobbies and things like that?
Wow.
You have a son, so
You're 5 years old.
I'm not sure that's a thing, but
Yeah. Yeah. He's pretty much my hobby. Play a lot of Minecraft these days and Super Smash Brothers we were playing the other night.
oh, such a goated game.
Yeah.
Goated game.
Yeah. So we all three played together at first. Yeah. So yeah, I wish that I had hobbies. I do, and like that's even something I struggled with before we had. Um, I tried scrapbooking once, and Andrew calls it my stalker book because it's like
Jeez.
our scrapbook of our dating history or whatever, and so it's a little like just about the two of us, and he just thinks that's weird. And so I didn't ever do it again after that. Um, and I like to read, but these days there's not lots of time. He is getting older and a little bit more independent, but being an only child, he doesn't, and he's very social. He does not like to spend time by himself. So mom tends to be the one that's always with him. And so we do a lot of things together. We like to go to the zoo, um, things like that. I love zoos. Always have. So it's fun that he gets to go like, hey, let's do another mommy Parker day. That's what we call it. And so we'll go to the zoo or whatever. Yeah, lots more video games than I ever imagined myself playing in my life. Doesn't help that Andrew is a gamer as well, but Parker doesn't necessarily like to follow like the exact what you're supposed to do. And so if you're like a hardcore gamer, you might not want to play with Parker right away because he doesn't like there's some frustration there. But I'm just like, okay, sure.
So if you guys watched our last video, Andrew talks about like video games, how like that's a big love of his. And so I can only imagine a kid being raised by Andrew
Yeah.
with video games.
Yes, yes. And we go to the comic book store every Wednesday, and now he's starting to get into those kinds of things. And yeah, we try to like do no screen time and stuff too, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
hard when daddy's a gamer and he's a gamer and he likes being on the computer and all those kind of fun things. So
All right. So, what is your favorite week of camp?
Oh,
No
What?
pressure.
Yeah, for real.
No pressure.
Sorry for any deans listening to
There,
this.
there will be no hurting of feelings.
Well, and realistically, some of that favorite might be because of something other things in the actual week itself, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of the things are that they're doing in the midst of their week,
Yeah.
you may not necessarily be as involved in.
That's true. Yes. I'll be honest, 4th and 5th has always had a special place in my heart. I started out actually as junior faculty for them. And so I grew up going to the Goshen Christian Church, and the Warsaw Christian Church was pretty close. So our youth groups used to hang out and do things together. And so some of the people who are still on faculty were faculty back when I was junior faculty for them. So that's just kind of always been a cool, fun thing. But they just do a really great week for those elementary age kids and keep it high energy. And they get to do all, like, I love their evening rotations where they get to do all of our things. I know it's a lot of work, but it's cool to be able to see them get to do like archery and swords and um, all of those things. Each week really does have its own thing that is really fun. I love First Chance Camp. Seeing all the little kids in their matching shirts. Looks like little Skittles or rainbow out there. And they're just all following in a line, holding on to their little rope and their little shirt colors. And they're super cute. Another Parker's one. That's also a little bonus. No, I always loved high school week. Junior high. Yeah, they're all great. But I think I started coming. We used to have it was 5th and 6th together, and then we had a junior high one and junior high two. And so when I started coming to camp, I was at 5th and 6th grade, and then was really only ever a camper at the junior high two, and then high school stuff like that. So as a camper, I don't know which one.
Fair.
Yeah.
4th and 5th seems to be a favorite one. It seems to be a one that like a lot of people talk about. So Bob Jones, you're doing a good job. And Megan.
And Megan. Yeah.
So to go along with weeks of camp during the summer, what do you look for in a summer staffer? Somebody who wants to come in and work hard and be tired all the time.
All the time.
For 2 months.
Yes. It's important for a good attitude. And someone with a servant's heart. Because like you said, I mean it's hard work. It's long hours.
Very long.
You live together with everybody, and so like you can get kind of cranky sometimes. And so to have that good attitude really is the big part. I love those people that will go the extra mile. It's not your job necessarily to do it, but they're gonna walk by and pick up trash, like just out of habit, like or whatever. And those smiling faces, and like we can train the job. So I don't care if you have ever cleaned a toilet before, if you've ever taught a game before, but if you have a good attitude and the smiling, and are here to truly serve Jesus, then that's what means a lot to me, and makes those standout staff members. Yeah. Is that answer your question?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because I definitely agree that the training you can train a person to do something to pick up trash. Like
Yes.
that's a skill that just about everybody
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah.
But the heart is the huge part, and especially with the relational aspect of Michiana,
Yeah. Yeah.
the heart is key.
Yeah, you don't come here to make money.
Yeah. No.
If you want money, literally go anywhere else. But if you want to serve kids and you want to serve God, I mean, this is definitely the place to be.
and it's fun. Like it's hard work, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna
Um,
be days when you're gonna be tired and drained, and I mean, you're probably just gonna want to sleep all day, but
yeah.
you gotta. I don't know. I feel like the work is worth it in the end.
hmm Yep. There's a song by Shane and Shane that is I don't remember what the actual title of it is, but it's it might be worthy of it all. And there's oftentimes when that's the song that I go to play because if you're having a hard day, if you're just really tired and don't want to do another toilet, or you don't want to talk to anybody else, like or whatever, like it's just tired and done, then like to put that song on and be like, okay, God, no matter what I went through today, no matter what like my tasks were or whatever, like you are worthy of everything that we've gone through. Um, to help get these kids like I may not have direct contact with a kid and walk them through like how to find Jesus or find out what's going on in their day. Um, but like every role here is super important to be able to get the accomplished. We're one big team. So whether you're program staff out there playing a game with a kid, or your maintenance, or you're in the kitchen, it all goes together.
Why can't? Why Michiana Christian Camp? If somebody has never interacted with Michiana before, why Michiana Camp? Why come here?
Relationships. I think that's all I've talked about the whole time. But yeah, it's super fun, first of all. That whole making Christ known through memorable experiences. Like some people might not understand like why do you have paintball? Why do you have archery? Like those kinds of things. And we had axe throwing for a brief time there. That was also a weird one to like explain to parents. Like, yeah, we just let them do that kind of stuff.
Just let them throw
Yeah, like what? Yeah. But it all has a purpose and gets them here. First of all, like that, it's more likely to have someone that has never heard about Jesus come to something like that that has all of these kinds of events and activities. We used to play a game called Steal the Bacon out, and we had to go run and grab inner tubes and things like that. The mud pit, like different kinds of things that is just a lot of fun for kids. The swimming pool, that's always like a highlight, and the slip and slide. Um, so all of those things are fun, but there's so much more to it that brings them here, maybe. Excuse me. But then being able to sit down and have a faculty member sit with them, and maybe that kid hasn't had somebody like that in their lives before. Um, maybe they've been through a lot in their life. We see that more and more today, which is really sad. Some of the stories that some of these kids have, but they can leave all of that junk at home and just come here, be a kid, have fun, unplug, and be loved on by somebody. And um, that I think is what makes all the difference is that they are loved well here at their time here. And it's not just when they're here. Like we genuinely love these kids every year that they come back, or even if they're here just once. Like it makes an impact on us, and we're hoping to be making an impact on them that they can be able to just leave that stuff there um, and come back here and know that Jesus loves them and know that we love them. So there's an adult out there that does. Um, and so I think that's why I think the relationship aspect is so important to me. Is because I can see what those kids, some of these kids don't have family at home. They have a lot of things going on, um, abuse or whatever. Like to just know that there is a safe space that you can be loved and just be yourself. You can, yeah, not have to be a grown up at 10 years old. You could just be a kid. And sometimes, even when you're 25, you could just be a kid at camp. Like, there's lots of fun things to do.
It's why Michiana, right? It's
Yeah.
like it's why kids keep coming back. It's
Yeah.
because we take care of them. We love on them. Like you said, some of the stories are they're just horrible and they
Mhm.
don't have the impact at home, but when they come here, they have the impact and they have people who love on them like they never have before. And so then when they go back home, they want to keep coming back.
Right.
They
Yep.
really love this place and
Exactly.
And that's why we see the next generation coming too.
Yeah.
That it carries that it's
Mhm.
carried on from one to the next.
Yep. Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you still see it like it's kind of fun, you know. They may never have come back again, but you go to Pizza Hut, pick up a pizza, and the person behind the counter sees your sweatshirt and says like,
mm,
I went to camp there when I was a kid, and like this smile just comes back to them. They're not like, oh yeah, and I hate it. Like it was like, oh yeah, like yeah, I did it there. That kind of thing. And I think that's why Michiana. I think you could go to any Christian camp really. Like that's just a beauty of it all. But there's just something about the people here um, that are just so genuine that I think that makes all the difference. Yep.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for coming and being a part of
You're
this
welcome.
and
Thank you for having me.
uh, letting us
Yeah.
interview you in the
the
process.
full-time staff have been complete.
Oh, what? Well, then look forward
Yeah.
to some more interviews coming up. Until then, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Caleb.
This is Kelly, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.